Man, it is just trailer day or something like that, because we of course just got our first official trailer for Space Jam: A New Legacy, which was amazing. I love the trailer. You can check out my full trailer breakdown on my other channel, The Movie Life. But we also got a new trailer for Black Widow, which is just 3 months away, and I have to say, I was definitely losing interest in this movie, but this trailer definitely got me hyped up again for Black Widow. And while it is mostly stuff we've seen before, literally the first 20 seconds of the trailer was flashbacks to past MCU films, there is some new stuff in here, and we're pretty much just going to go over the new stuff, but we are going to go ahead and break this thing down. So, like I said, we get some flashbacks to the Avengers. She's talking about her family of the Avengers. We get that great shot of her from her death scene in Avengers Endgame. And then, of course, this July, because we have this new release date, Natasha looks great in her White Widow suit. I really like that. I have a Marvel Legends action figure that, which is amazing. I love that. Then something we're introduced to in this trailer is flashbacks of who I assume is Youngg Natasha. It's either Youngg Natasha or Young Yelena. I assume it's Natasha. That's just how I'm going to refer to her for the rest of this video. If you think this is somebody else, then definitely let me know in the comments below. But it looks like we're getting some flashbacks. Then we get that part that we've seen in every other trailer where we see Natasha and Yelena meeting up again. You're getting reacquainted, and they're like, oh, sisters. And then it says her world. And yeah, her world has come down around her, and her past is coming back to haunt her, because we know this takes place in between Captain America Civil War and Avengers Infinity War. So her times from before she was an Avenger is coming back to haunt her. Then we have young Natasha, with blue hair, by the way. It seems like she was pretty rebellious, I might say, with David Harbour's Red Guardian character, which is very interesting, because we know in this movie he is her father in a metaphorical way, because the heroes we're seeing in this film are basically Natasha's first family. So Red Guardian and Melina are like her mom and dad, Yelena is like her sister, and they're not like a biological family, but just as Red Room super soldiers, or not super soldiers, but spies, they're like a family. So I like seeing this flashback here with young David Harbour talking to his metaphorical daughter. So that's cool. We get to see the sisters in action together. This looks like it might be from the final battle. Something about her secrets. Great shot of Melina. Flashback of Melina with young Natasha, and she's telling Natasha over dinner about like they just did what they had to do, and they were just following orders. And this was probably a bad spot to screenshot on, because Natasha's making a pretty weird face, but you know, we'll just go with it. But what's interesting here, this was one of the most interesting parts of the trailer to me, because it looks like you have two hands, and it looks like they're being pulled apart. And Yelena said something here about you were the world to me, or you meant the world to me, and that's clearly about the sister bond and the sister relationship that Natasha and Yelena have, or had. So I feel like this is maybe a flashback to these two getting pulled apart, and that's why eventually Natasha went on to go to America, join the Avengers and everything, and she never heard from her sister ever again until now. So then we get to see the Black Widows training in the Red Room once again. Probably the best part of the trailer was this stuff here with the bad guys, where we're introduced to actually a new villain who I'm not completely sure who this is. I feel like this is probably the guy running the Red Room. I think I read something. I mean, it's been a while since we've really heard anything about this movie, but I think they said something about like Dreykov or something like that. Some character like that was in charge of the Red Room in this movie. And we see Taskmaster. Somebody is taking off his hood. Not sure who that is. Might just be one of the Black Widows, because he's kind of like the leader of the Red Room. Except turns out he's actually under the control of this other guy. We'll talk about that in a second. But I love how when we see more of this battle, how he swings in on a rope and like drags his sword against the concrete. That's an awesome shot there. And then, like I was saying before, this guy seems like he's actually controlling Taskmaster. So we thought Taskmaster's the main villain of this movie, and I mean, he is going to be the main threat that Natasha has to battle. But it looks like this is going to be the main guy that's in charge. So kind of like similar to Captain America the Winter Soldier, where Winter Soldier was kind of the main villain of that movie that Captain America had to battle, but really it was the Alexander Pierce guy that was kind of controlling things from behind the scenes. So it looks like something similar going on here. Taskmaster looks cool here. But what he says is bring her home. So we know he's after Natasha and Yelena. So what if, I mean, it could just be like bringing them back home as like the Red Room, as in their home. Or maybe it could be Taskmaster has a possible connection to one of those two characters, because we still don't know the official identity of Taskmaster in this movie. I mean, we kind of assume it's going to be the Rick Mason guy, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's who I assume it is. And then we see that great shot again of Taskmaster with the bow and arrow. At first, I didn't like Taskmaster without the hood, but I'm getting more used to it. And I think he looks kind of cool with or without the hood. I mean, it looks better with it, but even without, he still looks cool. Great shot of Natasha, everything blowing up around her. And then this is the ending to the trailer where we get this cool air flight battle where we see she's falling from the sky. She's skydiving. Taskmaster, he's probably got his Iron Man like jetpack on. He's pulled out his sword and he's ready to battle Natasha while this debris is falling from the sky. And this is super blurry, but you can kind of see that he's lunging at her, and we got that cool pose of her, you know, latching onto the side of that building or plane or whatever is falling from the sky. So then that was the end of the trailer. We get the cool title sequence with the title, July 9th. Of course, it's now going to be playing both in theaters and on Disney Plus Premier Access for $30 on July 9th. So guys, that is the brand new trailer for Black Widow. And I'm not sure if we're going to get another trailer. I assume we probably are, because, again, we're still 3 months away. But some things did say this was the final trailer, but, I mean, we got a final trailer like twice last year, so you never know. I feel like they'll probably wait, and that like they release this trailer and then probably they'll wait until like maybe a month before, like sometime in June, they might release a whole new trailer, or they might just keep spamming TV spots and all that different stuff just to get us all hyped up for this movie, because it's actually coming out this year and we know that for a fact. So, guys, let me know your thoughts on this trailer down in the comments below. What do you think about the flashbacks with Youngg Natasha, or possibly someone else, maybe even Yelena? The new updates on Taskmaster and that guy that's now controlling him, as well as the release on Disney Plus Premier Access. Do you plan to watch in theaters, or do you plan to buy it on Disney Plus Premier Access? So anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything that goes on in the Marvel life.